Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Boulder Canyon here in Farming Simulator 19. Just pulling up underneath the combine here so that we can unload this little load of soybeans. And we'll also chase the combine down to the end of the field down here. This should get us another trailer load. Then we've got to... I've actually not set it going at the moment, but I'll go and do that in a second. We need to go back over there and get that tractor going again so that we can keep the hay turning going. And I'd like to hopefully get the hay baled up today. That would be quite cool if we can get on with that. We'll get this load here out and done and tipped. I'm not sure that the combine is actually going to be able to turn around properly. It does seem to struggle a little bit with the corners when they're like that, with the AI vehicle extension. There we go, helper B is stopped for some unknown reason. Probably because it's being daft. Right. Take you. And bring you back over this way. And what I'm going to do... I'd like to keep it going round and round the field. And I did talk about possibly not doing that. I'm just going to need to bring this one forward a little bit down here like this so that we get properly into the crop. I did talk about possibly not and possibly starting to go up down the field, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it just going round and round the field, and we will see how that works out. So from there, I want to go up here to this one, and we can get this one going again. We've got our wonderful bit over there, and hopefully soon we will be able to do something about this collision thing. Now, I have found out that the person who made this map has decided to stop modding. There is a link in the description down below to this map, which unfortunately doesn't work anymore. I will, when I remember, get that changed to a different link. But unfortunately, because the original link is not provided anymore, there isn't really a suitable original link, and I don't like to go providing extra ones, so I may not provide a link at all and leave it sort of to each of you to decide where you want to go and get the copy of the map from. I've not seen anywhere any official place to go and get the map that I'm playing on now, so I don't really know what's going to happen with that. I haven't really been able to find anything that indicates where I'm supposed to direct people who'd like to get a link for this map. So at the moment, I can't really say anything about it. All I know is that the person who was making it, or who made it, Beardshot Gaming, has decided to stop modding. So that's all I know at the moment. Regards to the collisions there, I had a discussion with young Jimmy J on our Discord server. He's one of the senior admins. He's the guy that made the Discord server in the first place. And he's also pretty good with doing some changes to maps. And I've sort of had a look at some stuff, and he's gone and had a look at some more stuff, and he managed to do more than I could. And there is hope that we might actually be able to get rid of the collision issue that is here. Because it's not just this bit that we can see. When he showed me some pictures of what he'd found with the whole collision thing, there's a lot of issues like this across most of the map. So if you want to try and cut grass, it's going to be difficult. So he's going to see if he can update it for me here. However, because it's not our map, we won't be releasing anything officially anywhere. Purely because it's not our original map, so we're not going to go hijacking a map and placing extra stuff down. That's just a no-go. That's not going to happen. So what we can, well, Jimmy might be prepared to release a video to talk about how he did it, or if not, we can certainly find a few posts on instructing how to find the collision layer and remove it. It's not as simple as just removing the collision layer, I don't think, because there's because it's the map that was taken from the original base game. There's other things as well that sort of hold it up. But I mean, at the moment we don't know. Well, I don't know. Jimmy said that he was going to have a look at it for me, and he was going to see if he could shed any light on it, or at least try and find a way to explain to me how I might be able to do it. It might not even be compatible with this save, so we may end up with it not really working anyway. He said he would try and have a look and see if he'd be able to find something for me. So, but however long it takes is however long it takes. I have no idea at the moment. We may not get anything until long time after Christmas, because I can't just expect people to drop everything for me, and he also has his own things that he needs to work on. So, yes, it might be coming. It might not be. I've personally had a look, and I can't... My skill is limited, to say the least, and I'm not able to shed any light on it. So this is why I've begged Mr. Jimmy J to take a look and see if he can at least come up with a suggestion on how I can go about doing it. So either he'll do that, or he will work his own little brand of magic on it, and we'll see. But I will keep you posted. I will keep you posted. In the meantime, we will just work with what we've got. We're not losing any grass. We've definitely not lost anything, because all it's doing is it's sort of saving it up inside the mower, and it's just going along and... there, he's going to bring it over to there, and he's going to keep going. It's just saving up the grass inside the mower, and it's bringing along and it's dumping it further down the field. So we're not losing anything by this. It just looks a little bit strange, and it makes the mower occasionally do some strange things as well. That's the only thing that's happening. So we haven't lost anything, and it's not sort of spoiled anything in particular. So I'm not particularly worried about it. Now I'm going to let that one carry on there a minute, and we're going to jump back over here. How are we doing over this side? We're going round and round. We've got 63% in the combine. I'm going to go back... Oh, no, I don't do that. I want to go back this way. We'll go to our tractor over here, and we will get another load of beans. I tell you what, how much have we got in here now? 22,000 litres. We are not going to have enough beans to be able to sell one load. Now, one comment that I did get in on one of the videos when I was talking about, you know, how much we should sell, because I've said we will only sell when we've got 45,000 litres of product in the tank. We can't sell for less than that. But what somebody said was, you could further complicate this by saying that if there's a great demand on, then surely that's the merchant saying he's going to give an outstanding price for anything that we've got. Now, if he's giving an outstanding price for anything we've got, that would surely mean that he is prepared to go further afield and go for less in order to be able to get his product, because he's not going to be offering that absolutely outstanding price unless he too is getting an absolutely outstanding price from his resale of it. You know, no merchant is going to be going after this stuff if they're not going to make a little bit of money out of it as well. And I thought, well, that's actually quite interesting. So we could add a little, well, is it addendum, is it? I can't remember the exact word. I know the word that I want to say that makes me sound really intelligent, but as I don't fully know, I think it's addendum. But because I don't properly know what it is, then I end up not sounding quite so intelligent. I actually come across as slightly stupid. So anyway, a little extra that we will add on is that if we get a great demand for a crop that we've got, we could just sell it as is, without any restrictions on quantities, because we're saying that the merchant is prepared to go further and take less because it's so valuable at the time. I kind of like this idea. I think this is a pretty good idea. It would be a reasonably accurate idea as well, I think. So I've got no complaints with that. It depends if anybody else has got any complaints with that. But I personally, I quite like this idea. I think this is an idea that could work for us. We shall see, shan't we? We shall see. Right. I thought for a minute it decided that it's going to stop again. It hasn't decided it's going to stop again. I was just going to look over at the animals and see how we're doing. 6.5 hours and we go to 85 sheep. So we're doing quite well with sheep now, up to 84. And it's 11.5 hours on the reproduction rate, which is, again, pretty good. So we're now definitely getting 2 sheep per 24 hours. I'd like to buy more sheep. But what I'd really like to do is I'd like to buy the bigger sheep pen. The one that I talked about yesterday. I particularly like the idea of this bigger sheep pen. I will change the price on it. I don't quite know how much yet. I'm going to wait for feedback on that before I change the price on it if we do decide to go for it. Because at the moment, the large sheep pasture is 180,000 and that is only 110, and this takes nearly double. So watch yesterday's episode if you haven't seen it, and I talk about what I think we should do with the prices on here. And whether we actually do that with the prices on here. But I mean, we've got space for 250 sheep in the pen that we've got at the moment. 250 sheep is a lot of sheep. Right, so it's going to take up quite a bit of space there. An extra pen at 450 sheep. I'm wanting to go for more sheep on this series anyway. You know, cows and pigs, I want one large pen of each. There's one large base pen of each. And I'm not actually planning to go for more than that. But chickens and sheep, I'm actually quite happy to go and get more of those, because I kind of feel that... Ooh, no, I want to go this way. I kind of feel that with chickens and sheep, it's very little work input for quite a positive amount of return on it. You know, we get a decent bit of money coming back on those two animals for very little work, really. Because, I mean, the sheep, all you've got to do is go and clean them once a day, and we got to put in some hay. The water, we've got the water thing over there that we've built into it, so we just got to turn the water tap on. That's all you've got to do for that bit, and you put some hay in for them. It's a really easy thing. It's a no-brainer, really, looking after sheep. And chickens are pretty much the same. We've got grain now. We've got a boatload of barley, and that's going to keep the chickens going for ages. So we could get 2 pens of chickens. I got 1 pen of chickens at the moment. But we could easily go and get another pen of chickens. I've actually got the money right now to go and get another pen of chickens. The chickens do have a well, I think they do. Do they? Yes, the chickens have a reproductive rate as well. So chickens could also, like, we could buy a half a pen or 3/4 of a pen and let them fill the rest of the pen up themselves. We've got the money here for a second chicken pen, which means that I could have 2 lots of eggs accumulating. And those eggs, we can make a lot of money out of it. We know that from the last series, the Ravenport series that we did in at the beginning of FS19. We went big time on chickens, and that worked really well. Why have you stopped down there? That's... Seriously, why have you come out over here and stopped? Unless he's decided that he doesn't like that little bit over there. I'm gonna manually take out this little bit over here. This is where it really starts to slow down doing this. Right. Let's get this bit here. It won't take very long to do this. We'll do along the long edge on here. And I reckon 3 passes and we'll do it. So this is, well, not 3 passes. It's going to be 4 passes, isn't it? There's 1 pass right there. And I can spin round like this. And I get the next pass. I know I'm leaving the header down on the ground. It's just a little bit quicker. It's not going to matter. It's plenty sort of level enough here to be able to cope with it. And that one goes in there like that. Spin round. And I'll back round this way as well. I like this little combine. I'm really liking this little combine that we've got here. Reminds me very much of the old Massey combines, the small ones. When I was really young, I used to live on a farm, and we had one of these combines. Not this one. We had an old Massey combine, little tiny one. It didn't even have a sunroof thing on it. It didn't have the shelter bit on the top. It didn't have that. That would have been an unheard of luxury. But most of the rest of it, this looks pretty similar to the old Massey combine that we used to have. Don't think it actually had a cover over the grain tank. I think the grain tank was just open, and that was it. Right, you will go into there like that, and continue on. So now all we've got is this little square. It's going to keep working away on that bit. We'll soon, very soon be done on there. And then we won't have any more to worry about. So, that bit happening there. What am I going to plant in this field next? We've done... Right, I'm thinking pigs is going to have to wait. So we won't be worrying about corn. Right, corn is not going to be something that we're going to worry about at the moment. More sheep, possibly. And more chickens as well. We've got 1 pen that we got for chickens, and we can always go for a second pen for chickens. Now, I got a supply of barley that will be feeding the chickens, and we've got some soybeans right here that we've just grown. So I'm thinking we would want either oats or we would want wheat to grow next. And then we'll probably come back and do another crop of beans so that we've actually got enough that we can sell the beans that we've got. You know, it'd be nice to be able to sell the excess beans that we've got here. So we've got... and I could just go with barley again. I'm not going to go with barley again. I don't think that we should do that. Other crops that we've got here that we could go and plant, you know, like root crops and stuff, I'm not going to do that. I'm not growing sugarcane here. I'm staying well away from that. So this, yeah. Sunflowers, we can't harvest those or the corn because we don't have the appropriate header for it. And I don't really want to do canola after beans. I'd rather do something that does involve a bit of straw, which is one of these. And oats is not something that I've really looked at for ages. That would be another cash crop type approach. So I think we will do oats next. Oats can be the next thing that we do. We're not doing horses, so it's just going to be cash crop. And we also get the straw from the oats as well, which will help out as well. Actually, I quite like that idea. Now, I want to go, not to you, I wanted to go up to you. You have decided to stop. You've just given up the ghost. Apparently working is just too much like hard work. I know what it did. It turned around at the bottom. It reversed all the way up here. And then it turned around and decided it was going to start from this point. I don't know why it does that. It's a very, very peculiar thing to go and do. But it does it every time, doesn't it? It starts at the bottom of the hill. And it reverses. It gets down there. And then it reverses all the way up. And it turns around up there beside the rock. Skipping all of this bit. Yes, it's the hired help. The hired help is a law unto itself most of the time. So I let that go there, and what I will do is I'll go back through these, and I'll go to this one, and I will go whizzing over this way so that I can empty out that combine again. And then most of the rest of that... Actually, I think all of the rest of the grain that is left there after this, the combine will get into its tank. I do need to empty it out this time. Definitely need to empty it out this time. I'll let him come over to here and he'll turn the corner. But then that's going to be it. Now, I don't think we need to plow or anything like that. Not after soybeans, because you don't have to do periodic plowing anymore in the game. You used to in FS19, but now periodic plowing is basically you've only got to plow after certain crops. So, because we haven't planted those certain crops, then we don't need to. Potatoes and sugar beets, you've got to plow afterwards. And you've also got to plow after maize, or corn, whichever you want to call it. We have done none of those crops, and that is the only time that you've got to plow. You don't need to plow after any other crop, so we can just keep direct seeding and not worrying about any of the rest of it. Bring you into there like that. And... how much are we going to get? Are we going to fit the rest of the beans into this trailer once we've done this? I don't know if we're going to or not. It's down to 8. I don't think we will. Not with what we've got left in... not the space that we've got. No. Possibly. Right. I'm going to move that one over to there. I'm just going to stop it there a second. And then I'm going to go over to you. And you haven't quite finished yet. You've got a little bit more that you've got to do. You need to go over this side, and you've got one little run to do up through here just to finish off the field. So I'll take you up this far. I'll go right there like that. And that's where you've got to go in order to finish this bit. Like that. So it will do that. And it will go and finish that field. And then while it is doing that, I'm going to go back over to this one. I'm going to tip this load of beans here. And then I've got that bit that's left on there. So we're going to end up with just over 30,000 litres of beans by the time we finish all of this. Which is not enough to be able to sell. So we're going to need to do another crop of beans. I'm thinking that... I know that we did a double lot of barley. But... we're definitely not going to do 2 lots of beans in a row, and I am wondering if we should say that we've got to leave at least 2 harvests between doing the same crop anytime from this point on, just to, like, change it up a little bit. Now, I'm not actually going to drive away from here, because if everything fits into that combine, then It can just it can just go round and round and round, and it can drive back and dump the grain straight into the silo. So that's why I'm not going to go back over there. I just need to get a drink a second. Alright, that's much better. There. Coffee makes the world go round, ladies and gentlemen. Never doubt it. Never doubt it. Not even for a moment. So we got one little tiny pass left on here, and then this bit will be done. Then we head off. Oh, wait, no, there's another bit over there. I'm going to go and get that bit now, actually, because he didn't turn around quite properly on there. So if I go and grab this bit, start there like that, over and down like that, and then pick you up, and we go back over here, and we take that one run down through there. I've now done everything. I've now completed this field. And run you down here this way. And you can see right there, it piles up along the edge of where that tip collision is. So we're not losing any product. We're not losing anything out of any of the fields. There's no grass disappearing or anything like that. It's just kind of a visual. It's a very, very strange visual appearance that we've got going on here. Admittedly, it is very strange. It's very weird looking at it. But it's not the end of the world, right? We can still work around it, and if we know that one area is particularly bad for it, then we can just adapt the crops that we grow. So if it is particularly bad all the way along that hill, then maybe we'll change it so that we're doing arable crops along the hill, and then down here on the flat we do the grass. That, you know, that's a neat little compromise. There's not a huge change needed for anything to be able to make that work like that, and I think it would be just fine. Right, I'll lower you down like that, unhitch you as well, and then I'm going to go straight over and get the rake and start raking up. And I'm going to rake a couple of passes along the bottom so that we don't have the lines sort of going across the big sort of stripy bit in the middle. Let's see if I can get this one out now. I don't know if I can get this one out past that mower. I think I've left enough room. I hope I have. Otherwise, I'm in a little bit of trouble. Right, we'll grab you like that. If I go... Yeah, sometimes you got to sort of use the steering on the wheels of this one in order to sort of help you out a bit. Right, that one is on 36% on the tank, which is absolutely fine, actually. That's going to keep going. It's doing a great job. I don't need to worry about that one in the slightest. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a few passes along the bottom here. Just this will be like a separate bit down here. And then once that's done, I've then got another task that I wanted to take care of. So I'll bring you over to here. This is going to be a bit of a mess, this bit down here. Right, it's not something I'm going to be particularly proud of, but at least it will work. So I've come all the way out here because of where the hay turner went. Bring that up there like that. And then I'm going to bring that all the way up like that. Then we'll go and turn. But I'm not turning fast enough, so my wheels are... The rear wheels on the hay rake are not turning properly. Well, they are turning properly. They're doing what they're supposed to do. It's just that I'm not turning them fast enough. And oh, no, I did get it. Right, I've got everything I wanted on there. And now I need to come across this bit, and we've got this kind of bulky piece along the bottom here. This is the messy bit. And take all of that out. And I go right, though I'll just go straight forward like that, which I'm hoping will stop any mess going along the side of the road here. And then I'm going to go down this way. And I'm going to start from this one. I'm going to go in here. So I want to bring it back from the road, because if I accidentally chuck... Because I can chuck some of this out onto the road, but I can't then go and pick it up with the baler because it's too far out, and all it will say is that you don't own this land. So that's why I want to just tuck it in like that. So yes, it's a bit of a mess that I'm making down here. Not very good at all. One more line I will do right there, which will fit without any problem, I should think. Helper I has completed... Oh, they have actually completed the task as well. They've done a really good job of that. And I'll get you up through here. And stop right there. I will just switch over a second. to you. You have indeed finished everything. We will... Actually, no, I'm going to take this one down. Because I'm not leaving the hired help doing anything on that field over there. I'm going to manually do that raking myself. So we will run this one down over here. Because, I mean, I could go and do a bit myself, I suppose. I could, well, no, I could leave the hired help doing some of it, but it doesn't... Yeah, it's in order to do that, I need to go around the outside edge first a couple of times and just, like, remove a few bits of it, and I don't want to do that. We'd need to, like, at least take one round around the outside, go and get the bales, clear them out of the way. We've done it before, so I don't really fancy doing that. I'm just going to do it like this. It'd be quicker if I do it like this as well. Well, I do want to have a look in here. So what do we end up with? 30,000 litres of beans exactly. So if that goes for a great demand, then yeah, ideal. We can go and sell that. I don't remember what we said we wanted for beans. What a good price for beans would be. I assume that above 1,500. I don't know if it's going to get above that. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but I genuinely don't remember at the moment what I thought was going to be a good price. So if you do remember what you thought was going to be a good... What I said I thought was going to be a good price, then please let me know. We went for... I think we ended up with about 572 on the barley, which I thought was a reasonable price. And it's sort of fluctuated around that kind of level a few times, hasn't it? So I think that's acceptable for the barley. So long as it's above 550, I think barley is acceptable. Wheat, on the other hand, I think wheat we can get above 600, but I don't know what these are. I haven't been watching the prices on these, and that makes it a little bit more difficult, because we don't just have... We have got the difficult economic settings, but our sell point is actually 150, 150%. So we should, in theory, be getting a better price than just the base game hard economic difficulty settings. That doesn't necessarily mean we are getting that price, right? It's not always guaranteed that we're going to be getting a full 150. So there could be possibly like a few bits missing from that. It might not quite be giving us a fully accurate measurement on our prices. Yeah, there's 101 reasons why we might not actually be getting what it says that we're getting on there. Now, I'll bring you around like this, and now the good thing about doing this is that going along the edge like this, I'm not going to end up with crop that is stuck right out in the middle of the road, and that is an absolutely beautiful thing. I will go and grab that lot. That's just going to stay where it is, and then down here I've got another big line, and I'm just going to go straight at the moment. Quite sure what I will end up doing here, but I'm just going to take that straight there. That is quite the clump of grass that we got left behind there. That is quite an impressive clump of grass as well. Now I will bring you along the bottom like this, and I will do a line along here. I suppose we could take one, go once around the edge, tidy it all up a bit. If I go now with the baler and go once around the edge, that's then going to mean that I can put the hired help going. We'll change it over. We'll put the hired help going with the Deutz tractor rather than this tractor, and then that will just work up and down the field over there. Maybe I think we will do that. I've second guessed myself already. We will do that. We'll clear up this bit at the bottom, and we'll do a run around the edge of the field there, and that's going to make things a little bit tidier and easier for us. So I'm going to bring you over to here, and I'm going to unhitch you just like that. And then we will head over, and we can go and get the baler so that we can do the first round. And we can bring the trailer over so that we can clear that lot out. And it means that we can just have a little bit of the haymaking automated over there, which it's just going to speed things up a little bit, isn't it? It's going to just help tick things along a little tiny bit faster so that we can get on with our next jobs. Because I can't start planting until this tractor is available again, and this tractor isn't going to be available again until I've got this baler available again. Now, I do need to go and find my front weight. Where did I leave that one? I left it... Is that it over there? No, that's not. It's over here. I knew I left it next to one of these buildings. I need the front weight with the baler. It's too much weight pushing down on the back, which means that we're going to end up going light on the steering. So we just want to haul that down a little bit like this. Balance things out a bit. We can go racing back up across here. However, we have run out of time for today's episode. I do also have that road that I want to finish building, and that is going to be a little bit more difficult to do. It's going to also be costly, and then we've got to redefine the edge of the field along the bottom. The top, I'm not going to worry about redefining any edges, but it will need to be done. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.